So the vision. So first of all, I think it's important for us to share the vision of where we're going with this solution so that you understand the steps that we're making along the way. You know, as it said, if you don't know where you're going, you'll always get there. But we're very much focused on a path to creating what we're calling an all-in-one solution. So the all-in-one solution is really geared around athletics communication, sports information, and engaging with your fans. So we look at that from the perspective of the sports information director or the athletic director. So in that, we're trying to find, essentially from a fan's perspective, there's one place that they can go to get all the content. And that content comes in many forms. It can come in direct text. It could come in stats or scores or other information. It could come in informational graphics or infographics, or it could come in from social media. So rather than tracking 15 different places for information about your athletics program, the all-in-one solution allows your fans to have one place where they go. There's one website. It has an embedded web player for video streaming. It has social media embedded in the media wall and several other features embedded into that. From the perspective of the sports information director, this is also great because it's one place that you go to accomplish everything. So by the way that our system is sharing the data internally, you're able to operate more efficiently. So the way that we look at that and the way that we think about that is we believe that each of these solutions should be able to stand on their own. They should be the best in class, and we're working toward that goal. But they should also make it simpler for you. So we realize your days are very packed usually, and that if you can save 5 to 15 minutes on one task, that's time that you get home earlier. And so we look at combining all these pieces together as a way that we're shaving 10, 15 minutes off of several parts of your day and giving you time back. So as part of this all-in-one solution, we look at this across several different perspectives. So any of you who've seen our update presentations in the past are probably familiar with these four panels that we have at the beginning. So of course, we provide websites and mobile apps, video streaming, live stats, which is both the entry and the display of stats and the dissemination of those stats, and then camps and payment solutions. So as we've gone into this new year, we've really spent a lot of time expanding that capability out. So no longer is it just those four cards, there's a lot of pieces that go underneath that. So when you're looking at and thinking about web, infographics is a huge part of that experience, and engaging your fans and giving them the information. So many of our fans are living in a Twitter universe or social media with Instagram or Facebook. And so they're looking for ways to engage very quickly. And really statistics have shown that if you put an image in your post, it's 9 times more likely to be read or be seen. Most people are just scrolling by text. So infographics is a great way of engaging fans and providing them with a great deal of information. So you can use that as a way of building up your website. In addition, it's a way to engage your fans and bring them in. So for example, if you're live streaming a football game, for example, and you just scored a touchdown, that's exciting. And that's something that you want your fans to know about. So by using the infographic solution to send that out, tweet or social media, a lot of fans are going to immediately come and watch that live stream and be engaged with the game. We've also looked at the way that we communicate through email. And we realized that, while it's great, it's somewhat basic. So we're looking at new ways that we can expand upon that. So we're looking at a newsletter solution, and we have some things to share on that today. When it's in our video streaming, for those of you who call it JD and Philip yesterday, you saw a lot of those great capabilities, but automated highlights through Really, clipping as some people call it, Stretchcast are great ways of engaging that. But we're not just thinking of these two in silos. Rather, the video streaming is integrating into the website. So this year we introduced Stretch Live EP, which is an embedded player. And so now your fans have the option of still going to the portal, but if you want to embed the video stream into your website, you can absolutely do that. It's a much more engaging and better presentation. We're really happy with what we've accomplished with Stretch Live EP. So we have that out now for beta, and we'll be releasing it for full release in the next few weeks before sports start. When it comes to live stats, I think that's an area of focus that many of you are aware of. So last fall, we had some struggles with the stat solutions and getting that data to propagate properly. So we went back and we revisited that project in depth. So StatJack, as many of you are familiar with, and Stat Partners, that has been replaced with Stat Broadcaster. So Stat Broadcast, which many of you know as really the premium solution for delivering stats in real time, we partnered with them. And so we partnered with them to deliver Stat Broadcaster, which uses their XML integration. So that works with StatCrew, DAX Stats, and anything that's using the XML, including Genius. When it comes to Genius and NCAA Live Stats specifically, we're partnering with Genius Sports. And so for those of you who've caught their webinars, you've noticed that we have partnered with them, and we're working to integrate the API for that. And so with that will come all the data that comes through their API and our ability to use that in your website. From camps and payment solutions, of course, we've always had paid forms. That's something that we've had for quite a while now, but we've added ticketing. So through our partnership with Hometown Ticketing, it's a free add-on service to what we're doing. So really great partnership there, and we've got them on later today to talk about talk about their solution and how it integrates. So with that, let's talk about websites and apps for a few minutes. And for those of you who, no fear, I'll be turning it over to Katie and Anne-Marie in just a few minutes, so you don't have to listen to me all day. But, you know, when we look at the website, you know, as many of you have been customers with ours, you've probably heard us talking about things like data center and infrastructure and data management. And so really, as you look at the way to optimize a system, you have to start at the core. And so for the past 2 years, we've worked on the data center infrastructure, the data management. But as we've progressed through that process, we've also been able to completely overhaul the administration with a better user experience. So while it looks very much the same, we've taken small steps to incrementally improve the way that it performs, both in speed and removing some features and some functions that just weren't appropriate, or some functions that were taking up extra time. And we found faster, more efficient ways to address that. As we've gone forward, we've worked on integration and our API. So this past year, we've completely rewritten the API that underlines the system that we're using. So why is that important, you may ask? And that's because it gives us better capabilities. So from an integration standpoint, we now have the ability to integrate with NCAA Live Stats through an API, something that would have been challenging before. We've also are working on the integration with Huddle. So we announced our integration, our partnership with Huddle last week. Initially, it's just the camera, but eventually they're rolling out new updates for film sharing and other capabilities. It also gave us the ability to work with from now on for the mobile app. So with the mobile app, it's actually bringing in the data from the PrestoSports system. So it brings in the scores, the stats, the stories, as well as any other information that we have in our API. That's shared in the mobile app. So you may say, why is that important? That's important because your fans are going to get the same experience and the same information regardless of how they're engaging. So if they're engaging through the mobile app, the website, or the live stream, it's the same set of data, and it's delivered through that API. So that API that we're getting the data from either Genius or from Stat Broadcaster, that's giving us that data. We've also integrated a similar capability with score shots. So for some time now, we've been talking about the desire to have data-rich infographics. So with our infographics, we had the ability to integrate, but it wasn't until we formed our partnership with Score Shots that we're able to see that as a reality. So now, as you'll be seeing, we have a complete integration with Score Shots. There's more coming, there's more we want to do, but at this point, we have the ability to share the graphics between the systems. We have the data capability to share, and it's all built in. Plus, it doesn't matter if you or your coaches are coming directly into our system or going directly into the Score Shot system. You have a lot of capabilities there as well. Then, of course, Really and Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is perhaps an interesting one that we're going to talk about this afternoon. But you know, it was one of those cases where Google Analytics provides a tremendous amount of capabilities, a tremendous amount of data, and so those gave you the ability to harness that. Plus, you don't have to learn a completely new system. It's a very, very great solution, and it's integrated, it's free, and you're able to use all the capabilities there. But once you've essentially worked through those previous items of the hierarchy, now you're able to focus on things that are probably more important to you, such as the design. So the design is something that you'll see as we've been working on the past 6 months on, and we're sharing a lot of those capabilities. We'll be discussing some of that today. And then, for lack of a better term, we get to the really cool features. And so the ability to do some really great and interesting things. So on the design, there's a lot of great things that we've accomplished there, and happy to show some things. Also, I mentioned some of these partnerships, some of these integrations. So you may ask, why are we partnering? Why are we integrating this? Why are we not just building this ourselves? And so a couple of good reasons. First of all, it's one of focus. We realize that we can't do everything on our own. We can't boil the ocean. So we partner with companies who are great at what they do, and that allowed us to focus on what we're doing and also bring you capabilities very quickly. Plus, it's a way of building scale very quickly. So we can build scale with these partners who've developed a great solution, like From Now On for the mobile app. That was something that would have taken us a few years to deliver. But thanks to the partnership with From Now On, we're able to deliver that solution to you very quickly. So let me take just a moment and shift gears and talk about SID help for a moment. So one of the complaints that we've heard from some of our SID help customers is we see all these great features that you're delivering in Presto, but we're not able to take advantage of those. So what's your plan for Presto? So we definitely have a plan for PrestoSports. I'm sorry, for SID help. It's something that we talk about regularly, every week practically, on how we can improve that system and what we can do for that. So Brian, Zach, the team that manages the development for that system, they've been looking at new ways to improve it and how we can do that. So through our partnership with the NAI, we have direct integrations to the NAI help and the NAI backend system. So what we've decided to do is, rather than trying to continue developing and enhancing two platforms, we're really going to focus our efforts on Presto Web. So as the first part of that, we developed an integration between Presto Web and the NAI. So this is something that was released in July. So with that, you have the ability to either use SID help or Presto Web, and it integrates with the NAI. So if you're using Presto for your website, there's no longer a need to double enter that data. That integration has already been set up. It's something that we do have to turn on, and there is a process that we go through with that to make sure that we have the NAI schedules and all those features turned on. But if you're a member of the NAI and you're using Presto Web, let our care team know that you need that turned on, and they'll be happy to set that up for you. If you're an SID help customer and you want to look at switching over to Presto Web, let us know, and we're happy to work with you on that. So a couple more things is that, over the next 5 to 6 months, we're going to be working to address the valuable and the key features that are in SID help and make sure that those are covered in Presto Web. So we're making good progress on that already, more to come, but really our target is by early spring to have those features and capabilities there. So you may say that, well, you're basically giving feature parity, you're giving the integration, so does that mean I'm going to be forced to switch? And not at all. As we've consistently shared, we're not forcing anyone to switch. We're not creating an environment where you have to switch. If you're happy with SID help, we want you to remain happy with SID help. But you can use that system as long as you want. But what we're doing is, as I mentioned, we're investing a lot of our enhancements and those capabilities into the Presto Web system. There'll still be enhancements in SID help. There'll still be bug fixes. We'll still take care of that solution. But we think you'll be really happy with what we can deliver with the Presto Web solution.